Magandang hapon, which means good afternoon in the Filipino language, and assalamu alaikum means peace be unto you in Arabic. This is Heath and Kaye, my little Filipino vlog. Kaye is not here with us today, but she should be here with us shortly. She's still in Philippines. Today, I'd like to discuss with you a topic that I've been hearing from my viewers. They ask me all the time, what made me accept Islam? So I'm going to attempt to give you an understanding on why I accepted Islam. Now, this is a very lengthy subject, so it might take part 1, part 2, part 3. As a matter of fact, I know it will, for me to really explain to you everything about Islam and why I accept Islam. So I'm going to start with this series from the beginning to let you know why I accepted Al-Islam as my guide to follow in this life. First of all, I want you to know I'm not here to offend nobody. I don't talk about no one's religion. I believe all religions come from God. And if I say anything that might offend you, it's not my intentions to do that. I'm just explaining my views, what I believe in. Okay. First of all, I read the Bible, and I also read the Quran. Now, the Bible is a book of the Jews and Christians. You have the Old Testament and you have the New Testament. And we have the Quran, which was revealed to our last prophet, Muhammad. When I was a child, my mother would send us to Sunday school. I was raised as a Baptist Christian, and we would all go to Sunday school. I never forget the church. It was called Brother McAllister's Church, way up on the hill. We used to walk up there in the hill. It was an old church with a stove that you put wood in to keep warm and everything, but he would teach us Bible verses there, and we would sing. Now, I was about maybe 7 years old when I started going there, and he would go through the projects. We were living in the project at the time, a place called Rose Hill Courts, gather all the kids, we'll walk up to the church, and we'll sit in there and listen to him recite some verses from Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, some of the apostles. And he start with Genesis in the beginning. So we had a little talk about Bible verses. I really didn't understand much. I was too young, but I remember those verses that he used to teach us. Not word for word verbatim, but I remember the names. Sometimes my mother would send us, and she wouldn't go, but we'd all attend. Now, my mother's parents, my grandfather was a very religious person, and my aunties, they were very religious. And my grandmother, she passed away early when I was about 11 years old. But they would always teach us about God and about worshiping God and prayer. I learned a large prayer at a young age, you know. But I was basically raised a Christian. As I got older, I kind of, in my teens, I kind of like ventured away from the church. As a matter of fact, I didn't go to church at all for a while. But those teachings were still in me. And every time I go to my grandfather's house, I always hear him talk about God, Jesus, and so forth, different prophets of God. As I got older and started having children, got married, started having kids, I really wanted the best thing for my children. I wanted to raise them right and give them the right religion to follow. And I went to church, but thinking that was it, but it just wasn't hitting my soul, And while I was going to church, I heard from different people talk about different reverends and different pastors, how they did this or how they did that, And back then, it was believed that pastors were like close to God, and like they were just the next thing next to God, And I didn't understand at a young age, not like I do now, that they're just human beings like us that went to school, took up theology, and became pastors. And so I wanted the best thing for my children, to give them a good religion to follow. But first of all, I needed understanding before I can tell them, because the only reason as a kid you follow a religion is because your parents teach you that. But as you get old enough to understand on your own, and think on your own, you may see different or you may follow it. Well, I kind of got in that point where I was kind of confused. Something just wasn't right. Something just wasn't hitting me right. So I ventured out and started searching. I went to a synagogue before where the Jews were. I listened to them, and nothing wasn't hitting me then. I went to I used to be a hippie, walking down the street. I thought that was it, flower child and all that, and that wasn't hitting it. I went to Hare Krishna. I was invited to the Hare Krishna. Those guys that be bald-headed, walking down the street, playing tambourines, talking about religion and stuff like that. I checked that out. That wasn't hitting it. And so I used to wonder, what is wrong with this world today? Something is wrong. Something is not right here, Now, as a child, I grew up not knowing anything about self, my own self, black history, or anything like that at the time I grew up. We didn't have it in the books. But I continued my search. Now, what really made me accept Islam is that I went to a mosque one time, and they were talking, and I noticed that everyone was quiet. There was no tambourine clapping, no piano banging, nobody screaming, yelling like I did when I went to different holiness churches or Baptist churches. All they do is the imam sit there and he'd talk. He would talk, and he would talk out the Quran. And when he first started, he'd always say, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, meaning in the name of God, the most gracious and most merciful. Then he'd get off into his topic. And what really grabbed me when he said that God is one. That's all I'm going to talk today. I told you it's a lengthy subject. There's so much to discuss about this. And like I said, I'm not here to offend anybody. These are my beliefs. Everyone has their own beliefs. But you asked me, why did I accept Islam? And I'm just explaining to you why. That's all. I'm not talking about any religion. I don't talk about any religion. I don't down any religion or anything like that. But these are my beliefs. So I will continue on part 2 at a later date. But this is, like I said, it's a lengthy discussion, And so anyway, subscribe below if you like this video, and push the little red button that says subscribe down there. And I'll see you on my next video. Now, I'll be doing videos from time to time, but I'll get back to this one because viewers want to know, why did I accept? So I'll tell you. So anyway, have a good day and enjoy the day. See you.